Story. Tilda Izuku's Pav Tilda. Ochako, did you double check their suitcase? Yeah, okay. I am check again just in case. Izu, did you double check yours? Also, it is only 2 days and 2 nights. Why are you so worried? She said while putting a beanie on Eri. What if we forgot something? Also, Eri hasn't seen snow. How will she react? What if she doesn't like it? What's snow? Eri asked as she looked up at me. Ochako smiled. It's like a white fluffy cloud, but it is cold, and that is why. She began putting mittens on Eri's hand. You need these. Eri nodded and smiled and ran over to Kota, who was always all dressed up and ready to go. Are you ready, Kota? Yeah, he said, blushing a little while Eri smiled happily. I sighed and moved our small suitcases to the front of the house. After all, it is only 2 days, like Ochako said. Come on, let's go. We have to meet up in the courtyard to go on the bus and put our suitcase there too. Ochako quickly ran, pushing all of us out the door and putting on her own beanie. I watched as the two kids rolled their own small suitcases to the bus and Ochako grabbed hers. Her hair was a little messy from her trying to put the hat on, and I giggled. Ochako, wait, I said, and she turned at me with a worried look. Did we miss something? She asked. I straightened her beanie and pat down her hairs that it wouldn't be so messy. No, we didn't miss anything. I smiled, blushing a little from being so close to her. Ochako blushed back. "The bus," she said, walked quickly to catch up with the kids. I caught up with them after a while, and our whole class was already there waiting for us to put our suitcase in the bus and get on. After that, everyone sat in pairs on the bus. Tokiyami was with Asui, Hagakure with Masahiro, Yaoyarozu with Todoroki, Jiro with Kaminari, Kirishima with Ashido. Mineta was out due to complaints. Yuga preferred to be alone so that his sparkles will stand out more. Everyone else was by themselves. Bakugo was already dead asleep because Kirishima woke him up early for the trip, and Iida with Hatsume. Wait, why is Hatsume here? She isn't in our class. I'll ask Iida later, if I remember. Ochako quickly fell asleep after a few minutes, and so did Eri. Now Kota and I were just sitting there making sure they wouldn't fall out of their seats. After a while we finally arrived at the winter lodges. It was late in the afternoon now, and we all got off the bus to get our suitcases. Aizawa told us where our cabins were, and Iida told us the rules that should be followed. Tilda, Ochako, Pav Tilda, Eri, the girls, and I all headed to our cabin and split into our rooms. Jiro and Yaoyarozu took a room, Sue, Eri and I took one as well, while Hatsume, Hagakure and Mina took another. Hello, Auntie Asui, Eri said with a smile as she climbed on Sue's bed. Sue smiled. Call me Auntie Sue. Eri nodded quickly. Okay, Auntie Sue. We all started to move our suitcases to one side of the room, changes into our pajamas, and took out our hygiene items when we heard a knock on the door. Promoted stories. You'll also like Glamrock Chica X Male Reader. 9.8K73. A kid that Chica spent a lot of time with a few years ago decided to return as an adult. Hey, you know how I took this story down for a little while to revamp it a little. Murder Drone Stories, incorrect quotes. 20.7K274. Little random stories kinda like one-shots. Oh well, this became Oni-shots and incorrect quotes. Very slow updates. I don't write fanfics much anymore. The Ultimate Roleplay. 1.2K107. This is sorta like my roleplay book, but bigger, crazier, and better. So, this is for all Sonic characters. All versions of canon characters are able to join. Sonic Ma, her savior. 1.1M163K. Yadavanshi Series Number 3. It is a book under Yadavanshi series, but it could be read as standalone too. Nitya Raghavendra is a Telugu businesswoman earning millions, but her out of time. 20.7K 503. The world was left in chaos after AFO killed last wielder of One for All. Siblings Hiroaki and Reiko are sent to warn their parents of an impending disaster. The Pro. Rain, adopted. 114K 3.2K. This is an adopted story from at M_Spriggs titled Rain, that I will be adding onto. Quirkless o one day, as Ochako Uraraka walked back to Ua, she found herself caught in FNAFSB. Foxy's new home, Glamrock Foxy XRO. 22.2K 554. Foxy comes to the Mega Pizzaplex as a Glamrock animatronic. He now has a new home and 4 new friends. Foxy falls in love with Roxanne Wolf and Roxy is slowly falling. Jiro popped her head in the doorway saying, "Hey guys, we are going to chat about stuff I guess, in the living room, wanna join?" Eri immediately jumped up and ran out of the room saying, "Auntie Mina. Let's chat." Mina, I sighed and walked out with Sue, who also looked somewhat worried like I was. Everyone else was already in the living room sitting down in the floor and hugging some pillows. Eri grabbed my hand and told me to sit down with her, which is what I did, and she smiled saying, "Mommy, how's your relationship with Daddy?" I flushed red as Mina, Hagakure, and Hatsume giggled at me. Jiro had a smirk on her while Yaoyorozu blushed a little and so did Sue. Why are they blushing? I'm the one that is being asked the question. I cleared my throat and turned towards Eri. "Sweetie, you live with us, you know exactly how our relationship is like." Eri pouted. "You still haven't kissed though. Auntie Mina told me that if you live someone you kiss them, but you still haven't kissed Daddy. You love him, don't you?" she said with her baby doll eyes. At this point Mina and Hagakure were laughing like crazy. Hatsume seemed interested to hear more and was mumbling, "Then I have to kiss Iida then." Jiro all of a sudden was blushing furiously and so was Yaoyorozu. Meanwhile Sue was looking disappointed. "What is with these reactions?" I stuttered as I was blushing more and more. How is my own daughter making me blush because she is talking about Izu? "I'll kiss him someday," I muttered quietly. "Anyways, what about you guys?" I shouted nervously. "Please stop investigating me." I watched as Eri looked a bit disappointed but was interested to hear about how the others were doing. Mina smiled proudly. "Will you guys already know about Kiri and I?" So, she glanced over at Yaoyorozu. "Why don't you go?" Yaoyorozu blushed again and quietly said, "Toto and I decided to start courting." "Ah," she described dating as courting. "That's so cute. They have nickname too." I giggled. "Okay, how about you, Sue?" Sue looked startled and sighed. "We've just been talking, but nothing really has happened." Hagakure paused. "Sue," she said and smiled brightly, "I guaranteed to the fangirl code that I will get you and Tokiyami alone tomorrow so you can talk about certain things." Sue simply nodded and had a little smile. "Hatsume, any luck so far?" Mina asked. Hatsume smiled brightly saying, "Nope. But Iida has been coming over to my workstation the past couple of days." All of us paused, laughed. Iida would definitely do that. It seems that they are doing well. "How about you, Hagakure?" Hagakure smiled and nodded in joy. "Ojiro and I was a couple now." Mina stood up suddenly and smirked at all of us. "I conclude this meeting is a success. Now," she ran to the TV and turned it on and popped in a DVD. "It's movie time. Can we watch a princess movie?" Eri asked. Mina nodded. "Sure." Jiro stood up quickly. "I'ma go pop the popcorn then. I'll go get some blankets." I stood up and left the room. "Kiss. Kiss Izu. Tilda Midoriya Pav Tilda." I sneezed all of a sudden. "That's weird." "Bless you. Thanks, Todoroki. Someone's thinking about you, Midoriya. Probably his girlfriend." "Guys," I said, blushing slightly. We were all sitting down in the living room while Kirishima, Kaminari and Bakugo were playing video games on the TV. Sato, Siro, Koda and Shoji Ware just watched them play and holding Koda's rabbit. Meanwhile Aoyama was in his room trying on different winter outfits that would match his taste. Iida, Todoroki, Tokiyami, Ojiro and I were in the kitchen making a quick snack. Oh, and Todoroki started to say as he was making himself cold soba noodles. He paused and cleared his throat. Momo and I are courting or dating. Ojiro smiled. Hagakuri and I are dating as well. Asui and I have just been chatting. Iida then nodded and both Todoroki, Tokiyami, and Ojiro were glancing at me. Are they expecting me to say something about my relationship with Ochako? Our relationship is good, I said nervously. Suddenly the game sound stopped and we looked over to see that Bakugo had paused the game. He then yawned saying, I'm going to sleep, I don't want to hear about all this love stuff, and before he exited the room he turned to look at me and said, just fucking kiss her, and then he left. My face got all red and the rest of the boys looked away blushing slightly. Why are they blushing? Kaminari sighed. I can't even talk to Jiro unless and is about music, which is fine but, every time I try to tell her about my feelings she pushes me away. Tokiyami agreed with Kaminari and they both looked depressed that Kirishima stood up saying, you guys are required to confess by tomorrow or else Mina and I will tell the girls okay. Kaminari and Tokiyami blushed and looked away. I'm going to sleep guys. I said as I slowly walked to my room, that I was sharing with Koda and Iida. Koda was already sleeping. I laid down on my bed trying to go to sleep but I just couldn't stop thinking about what Bakugo said. Just kiss her, I can't do that. I do want to kiss her though. Kiss Ochako, blank, underscore, blank, underscore a longer chapter than usually. Sorry for not updating again school. That's about it. Anyways as always there will be mistakes and stay safe everyone. Tilda the final Night Fury.